Welcome back to the Market Minute. Let's see what's going on in Boston housing this week. Mortgage rates have been a roller coaster. Just this week, the average 30-year mortgage rate went above 7%. This is an increase from about 6.25% back in September. The Fed has cut rates twice, but mortgage rates are going the opposite direction and have been slowly climbing. That's because mortgage rates more closely follow the Treasury yield. The Treasury yield goes up and down depending on how people feel about the economy. People are pretty bullish right now, so it's increasing, and as a result, mortgage rates are going up as well. The Fed also just indicated this week that they don't necessarily plan on cutting rates in December. And so again, while they're not exactly tied, it does indicate how rates might go. So if those aren't being cut, the yield's increasing, mortgage rates might stay at these higher levels for a little while. We're in the thick of a slow inventory season. So this chart shows the number of home sales by month over the last few years. You'll notice each year in winter, so January, February, March, there's not a lot of home sales. And then they continue to steadily climb as we get towards spring and summer. And they dip again in the fall. We're in the fall, there's going to be less home sales. That's because people are already where they want to be in terms of school systems. Maybe they renewed their apartment leases, whatever it might be. There's less people shopping, so less homes are for sale. So if you are a buyer looking right now, that's great news. You might have less options, but you're going to have less competition. It's more likely you get a home for a price that you find better than what you would have got in April. If you're selling your home right now, you have to present your home in a way that shows value to buyers. So it's critical to price correctly. You need to stage it appropriately and really give it a sense of why buyers want to see your home out of everyone else that's on the market. Finally, how much should you be spending on housing costs? The rule of thumb is that you should be spending about 30 to 40% of your gross salary on housing costs. For example, if you make $80,000, you should be spending somewhere between $2,000 to $2,600 if you can. Less is obviously better. More might be the case depending on where you live. That range is pretty tough in and around Boston, as the average one-bed apartment in Boston is $3,000. And if you bought a condo for $500,000 at the current rates, your mortgage is about $2,900 a month. So those both fall above the range, so what do? There's two things to take away from this. One, if you're renting, you should be living with a roommate. Costs are expensive. They automatically go down if you have roommates. You're subsidizing the cost. You're going to get more apartment and more bang for your value. You should be doing everything you can to save money while you're renting. So living with a roommate is a great way to do that, to stash money aside for you to buy something in the future. Second is, if you are renting in around Boston right now, you should look into the numbers and see what it might cost to actually own a property. Rents are very expensive around Boston, but if you can find a mortgage that's similar to your rent or maybe a little bit more, it might make sense to purchase something and start contributing to your net worth and building your wealth rather than paying someone else's mortgage. At the very least, it'll give you a sense of what mortgage costs might be, what you might need to do to save and get yourself in a position to buy something. If you're interested, if you're in that position, just want to have a conversation, reach out. I'm happy to chat. Let's see what's possible for you. That's all I got this week. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.